Hi everybody, this is Nancy from the team at Community Homeworks in Kalamazoo. Thank you for tuning in to another story about the people we meet and the impact of our work. Since 2009, Community Homeworks has been working hard to help homeowners stay safely in their homes by providing critical home repairs to income-eligible people. We also offer home maintenance classes and even lend tools so we can cultivate basic skills as we build relationships across neighborhoods. This podcast, called Being Right at Home, will include stories of empowerment, stories of hope, stories of what can happen when people work together. In the words of T.S. Eliot, home is where one starts from. So let's begin. Well, in our studio today, I've got two people, so we're in for an extra bonus. We've got Kim and Matt, a married couple that have been participants of ours, and they have quite a story to share, so welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you agreed to do this and to share your story. It means a lot to us.
You guys have a great organization.
Well,
it's very helpful.
You know, what your words will not only mean a lot to, I think, our listeners, but to our team at Community Homeworks. They love to hear what happens after they leave. So anyway, well, let's get into your story, which I'm going to call endurance, because when I look at the two of you and what you had to endure in your home during a crucial time of your life, I'm just awed. So today's story, your story, is about endurance. On that note, I want to ask just a little bit about your family, because it wasn't an easy time of your life in terms of kids and activities. So give us a little background on who you are and your family situation.
Well, we have 4 kids, so it's busy, very busy. And Kim was going to school at the time to be a nurse.
For nursing, yep.
Also not easy.
And it was the end of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So things were still kind of shut down.
Yeah, and what were they? Do you remember the ages of your kids?
The ages then, they were like 10, 13, 15, and 18, 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
right.
they were all still in school too, I think.
In the double digits too, so busy, like you said. Yeah, wow. And Kim, what year of nursing school were you in?
That was my last year. It was the 3rd semester, though, so I still had one more semester to go because this happened right before Thanksgiving.
Oh, so we're heading into the winter months. Okay. And you're a stressed out nursing student and mother of 4.
As everyone is, I think. Yep. And still trying to work. I worked in an emergency room at that point in time.
Wow. Oh, so let me tell you what I know and correct me if I'm wrong. When you came to us, you had just had a roofing company come in and fix a roof that was not good, and you needed a new roof. But in the process, your chimney was taken down.
Yep.
Because they thought it was obsolete. So why not take it down and just re-roof? However, it was necessary to tell us why it was.
It's what the hot water heater vented out. So they had looked at our house and they're like, "Oh, it looks like their furnace goes to the side. This should be fine." They called Matt.
Yeah, but I didn't remember that the water heater vented out the chimney at the time. So I just said, let me call some people and I'll get back to you. But by the time I had called them back, no one answered, and I called my son, and my son runs out frantically to the porch, try to get someone's attention on the roof because they're all roofing at the time and the kids are home, and he sees the chimney go off to the side. He sees it thump onto the ground.
Onto the ground.
Dad, I think we're a little too late for that. That caused more panic and distress because now I knew that all the gas was going to the water heater, but I had nowhere to vent anymore. No parent is home. Can't get a hold of the contractors. Everybody's on the roof. So I left work and came home and shut off the gas immediately. And, and that's when I got on the phone with Community Homeworks, asked what it is I could do, gave them the information, explained the story. I was actually just got back to Borges where I work, and was walking around the perimeter just pacing back and forth pretty much, and trying to hold back tears. I didn't know what to do. I had to work the next several days. Kim had to go to school. We didn't have a hot water heater. We didn't have any warm water. It's November.
Well, and the roofing people showed up a day early.
Oh.
So I had gone to study with people. Aiden was home. It was 10 o'clock. There was nobody there. By 2 o'clock, all of this is happening. He was at work. He had picked up an extra shift, and it was when they would give you incentive pay to work extra and whatnot. So now all of a sudden he's having to leave, which you accrue things at work, right? They're like, well, now you won't get this because you had to leave. You had to take a personal day and all these things. It was very intense.
Yeah.
And it's water heaters are expensive, and we had just replaced our water heater that summer.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was not
so
even.
it wasn't an old one,
But it needed a chimney to vent. And without a chimney, it would have been, you knew enough, thank God, to say, let's turn off the gas.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine the tragedy?
No, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. How did you know about community homework,
So we live in the neighborhood, and we've driven past it multiple times because we're just a block over. But it was the agency that had helped us fund our roof, that one of their people works in conjunction with Community Homeworks.
Okay.
And she had been I think these people might be able to help.
Okay.
Get us the application.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. Do you remember that phone call you made? It was you, Matt, that made it? And what happened when you made the phone call?
They answered right away. They were very friendly. I explained what had happened, and I got a lot of oh my goshes, and they explained to me that it goes in, order of a need, emergency situations, and I definitely qualified for an emergency situation. So, I honestly, I don't really remember a lot of the conversation, just what came afterwards. I know I was on the phone for quite a while just explaining the story. They were very friendly. It sounded like they were willing to help. There were some steps we had to go through first, and that's when I decided that I wasn't actually going to go back to work. So when I was at board, just frantically pacing back and forth on the perimeter outside, I went back in and told my boss that I was going to be going home for an emergency day, and take care of my family and figure out what we need to do, because this was really unexpected.
Yeah, to help us with our intake forms and
get all the paperwork. And the other agency, I ended up just going there and grabbing all the stuff we had done for them. So I already had it all filled out, and added a few more pieces of paper. Kim got home by that time. We went to Community Homeworks and put it in their little Dropbox, I think, and then tried to come back later and see if someone was there.
You had tried to stop by there on the way home, and you got home and you were frustrated because nobody was there.
That might be right.
And then I was like, okay, well, let's calm down for a minute, gather all of our stuff, we'll drive over there again. So we went there. Didn't look like anybody was there, but then you could see someone. And they let us in, and they were so welcoming. And I was really nervous because I didn't know if we had a carbon monoxide detector that was actually working.
Oh.
And I know I was in contact with our pastor, and we go to a church in a different city, and he's like, I will drive all the way to your house and buy you one, if that's what I need to do. And then Zach came from the back like this.
Like Superman?
Yeah. So grateful. So grateful.
Yeah. Just knowing you could go to sleep that night without and sleep.
About it. Yeah. But they were very receptive to us. Like she said, that Zach came out from the front. There was another lady that was there. I think it was the one I was talking to on the phone.
Okay. Probably Hannah.
Probably, yeah. And listened to the story again. Kim and I were both there, given both of our perspectives on what had happened. And another gentleman from the back had overheard everything and said he might even go to the site right then and see what he could find. And he did. He ended up coming over 15 minutes after we got home.
They showed up pretty quick after, everybody just kind of drove over to our house. And
just kind of expected what had happened with the chimney, and went in the basement and saw where the water heater was, and just kind of took everything in.
That's
that very day.
That very day that all this happened. I mean, just I can't.
It was such a catalyst, and then to have all the little pieces just start to fit and build hope.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So once they came in and assessed, you're right. You can't use that water heater, and we need to put up a carbon monoxide detector, and we need to figure this out. Do you remember how long it took to have them actually come in with a new? And what happened? Tell us what happened after that.
It was within a week that we started to find out, because I think this happened like November 10th was the day that we lost our chimney. And the gentleman had come out that day, and it was a Thursday, I think, and they're like, okay, it's almost the weekend. We're going to see what we can figure out. And then you're looking at getting really close to Thanksgiving and stuff. The gentleman came out to the house again, and they wanted to look at some more stuff, and I was there by myself. So I had two guys that I barely know come into my house who want to see like the bowels of my house. Like, let me take you to the basement. Can we see your attic? Can we all these things? I can't even get to the attic because we've like built in a closet over the access for the roof. So because they wanted to see if there was any structural damage to the chimney on the inside when they had knocked it off on the outside.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I couldn't show them those things, but I'm showing them around my house, showing them the defects in my very old house that we've lived in for a long time. So like, are there any other things that might need to happen? Like, we can't necessarily help you with anything, but we would like to know what's going on to see if we can help in any way, right? So you can see the hole in the ceiling, you can see the hole in the wall, and our dark old Michigan basement.
Wow. So then they came in, saw what they needed to do to get the process rolling. How long do you think it took? How long did you go without hot water?
It was a week and a
About
half
a
to
week.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it ended up being so close to that the holiday, it was hard to get everything to line up and work with making sure that we would qualify, that they could get somebody to come and put the water heater in, because Community Homeworks needed to work with an outside place to do that kind of a work. So they were able to
Coordinate.
Coordinate is a good word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times we have to coordinate with subcontractors or figure out how to get the work done. What was that? I'm just curious and maybe they don't want you to share this, but what did your kids think about all this at the time? What was their reaction?
They were just flabbergasted, I think, and worried that there would be no showers, because it had gotten to that point. You know, when you're a teenager, you go from you don't want to shower to you have to shower like 15 times a day.
Right, right. So for a week and a half, without four of them showering.
You're like, what do you mean we have to go to the hospital to take a shower?
Or
What do you mean we got to go to the gym, or we got to go to grandparents' house?
Yeah, that would have been. Now, had you not gotten in touch with us, did you have a plan B?
I did not have.
I don't know.
I didn't have a plan A. I didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know what we would have done. Just financially, the burden of buying a water heater, it was $3,000. And originally, I think
because they have to vent out the side of the house. It was a special type of water heater that doesn't go to the chimney, that goes out the side of the house.
Okay, so they had to reroute. Oh,
and originally, when we were talking with the gentleman, we thought it would be $2,000 or so. Well, it wasn't. It was even more. So it just like, we would have not had Christmas.
Right.
We would have like, here's a new water heater, kids.
Here's those warm showers.
Hope you like showers.
Wow. Yeah. So meanwhile, your studies are going on, right? So how did that impact? I mean, you have 4 kids without the ability to take a shower with their busy lives.
It's just one
you
more
both are working. Yeah. You're going to school. Yeah. So
just one more thing to try to navigate. One more, like, sometimes you feel like it just drops on you, right? There's just more and more and more.
Yeah.
Sometimes things get harder and you want them to get easier, but we just get better at them being harder. And then they get harder again.
Well, that's why I think this is about endurance, because, I mean, for most of us, that would have been, especially with the holidays coming up, too, with Thanksgiving and then the Christmas holiday, it's like, oh, no, really? So just the thoughts of all of that. Yeah, so what else can you tell us about your experience with community homeworks that you think maybe other listeners who have never been participants or part of our community homeworks family, what do you want to share with them?
For me, they've been invaluable. They provided us with a basic need that our family needed that we weren't able to meet ourselves. And that gets hard, right? Like emotionally hard when you can't provide those basic, a hot shower. Like you don't ever think. We're so blessed here in the United States where we take things like that for granted. And the comfort that I was able to experience allowing those gentlemen to come into my house and to show them those spots that like you keep hidden, right? Like, I don't want to show you the holes in my wall. I don't look up and see my ceiling, you know.
It's such a time of vulnerability.
Yeah, but also as a female, you're vulnerable no matter what, right? And I was hypersensitive to that working in the emergency room. Like you're always aware of your surroundings, aware of the people that are around you. And to open my door to two people that I barely knew and bring them into my home like that and show them my vulnerabilities. But they made it so comfortable and safe. And I didn't feel judged. I didn't feel embarrassed so much. You know, like how many people just want to invite everybody over into the deep corner of their basement and be like, see?
Well, I guess it was that they genuinely cared. They wanted to help. They weren't, they were compassionate. They were caring. They were receptive, comforting. They weren't like just an agency there to. I don't know. There's a lot of agencies that aren't as human, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You know, that it's more of a work thing, not a helping people thing. And community homeworks is a helping people thing. And in addition to what they've helped us with, they've given us more tools, more education, invited us to other workshops for other areas of our house that also might need help, showing us how to do things ourselves instead of relying on other people. Just a lot of knowledge that they were able to pass on to us.
Thank you for that, because we take great pride in thinking of ourselves as people that can empower others as we're empowered by others. So yeah, that means a lot.
I think that's a good point, but also they feel like friends or family, not so much like these people that you're going to and begging for help from, right? Like, I really feel with everybody that I've met at Community Homeworks, I feel connected to them. They're just like beautiful souls. It's a great program.
Oh, that's so good. And they're going to love hearing this, Kim. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Just the truth. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I could gush on and on and on, as I'm sure you know about how I feel.
Yeah. But tell us where you are now. Now that you got hot water and you've had it for a while.
Warm showers whenever we want. It's wonderful.
But what happened with nursing school?
I graduated nursing school, and I was just about a year in front of Zach's wife, I believe, because she's graduated now. We went right around the time I graduated, we were at Community Homeworks, and Tiana bought me a cake, right? And I wanted to share it with everybody there. And she comes up and she's like, "Stop sharing that cake, lady. That's your cake. Don't share that cake." Like, what do you mean? Like, I always want to share all my stuff with people, right? Like, I have it. Let me give it, like, you take that home and you eat that. That's yours. Don't share. But I graduated with honors. I got a job. I started originally working in the emergency room at Borges Hospital, which, as you can imagine, is difficult because that's just what it is, right? Life and death. Yeah. that has taught me a lot about life and what is truly an emergency and what's not an emergency. And now I work as a cardiothoracic surgical nurse. It's my dream job. I work with a great group of people, and we perform open heart surgery.
Wow, congratulations. That is just so cool.
It makes me happy. But it's so weird to watch how your life kind of like comes together and forms all these pieces. And,
And you're paying it forward by, providing that compassion that you spoke about just a few minutes ago. So that is so exciting. Now, your house, I just want to go back to your house for a minute. How old is your house?
Now it's like 130 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was built in the late 1800s, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
1890 something.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is really cool because what it says, one of our goals is to keep homeowners in their homes. And there's a lot. The average age of the house, from what I'm understanding in Kalamazoo, is close to 100 years.
Yep.
So keeping people in these older homes safely, and underline that word safely and bold it, is where we're at. So
They were built to last, right? Their materials are so strong. But also there comes a certain finesse that you have to figure out how to be able to maintain it.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that information. The windows are different, the paint is different, the siding, all of it.
It's everything. Yeah.
We still have, I think, in the kitchen of the house, there's still a chimney where you could cook at. Like it's all sealed off.
Oh
Like
my
the old stove that vents right out the side of the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of those old
Coal chute, we
features.
still have that in our house.
Wow. Wow. Do you plan to stay there for a while, do you think?
Forever, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
Forever?
going to stay in the
Okay.
family, and we'll just hand it over to their kids. And maybe the kids' kids and kids' kids, and so on and so on.
We have really great neighbors. Truly, like just the people on our block and surrounding us are fantastic people.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. That's wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for your story. Thank you for providing us with the information to spread to others. Best wishes as you forge ahead
Thank
with
you.
those kids. They're all doing well?
They are all well.
Yeah,
Yep.
they
Our
are.
oldest has now become, he graduated. He decided he wanted to be a lifeguard at a camp that we're affiliated with up north. So he figured out how to get his lifeguard certificate. He got a job at the camp, and he's about to go up there this summer to go be a lifeguard.
Oh.
The camp he went to as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
So we got more than one lifesaver in the family. That's so cool.
So it's
wow.
good. But thank you so much for letting us
Yes,
share our
thank you.
story. And thank you for all the help that you guys have been to us.
You're
'Cause
welcome.
We
Thank you.
couldn't. We'd still be struggling, I think,
Yeah.
even with graduating and getting a better paying job and everything. That would have been a difficult hill to overcome.
It's exactly why we're here, and thank you. Thank you. This means a lot to us. Well, that's it for this time, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Between now and next month, we will continue to be in our community, making a difference. But before signing off, I want to ask for your help. Please consider supporting us with a donation of any size. You can easily do this by visiting our website, communityhomeworks.org. Your help will allow us to empower more families as we build a stronger community, one home at a time. So until next month, please take care of yourself and each other. From our team to you, bye-bye for now.